Welcome back to Poetry and Police. Enough respect to my loyal subscribers. Big up to all the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Big up to everybody in Jamaica, the nursing fraternity, teaching fraternity. Everybody who keeps the wheel turning in Jamaica to make Jamaica a better place. And today what I want to talk about is Jamaica is at a point where, a significant point in our future, where we can decide whether we attack criminality and criminals head on, or we make changes that will push us back months or even years in the line of fighting crime. Now, first of all, the reason why I'm saying this is because in crime fighting in any country, first of all, we have to think about the financials. When it comes to reducing crime, fighting crime, we have to talk about the financials, which come from the Prime Minister himself and the Minister of National Security. Go back down to the Commissioner of Police, who decides where the proper funds are to go to. Then we have to think about, in the strategy of fighting crime, we have to think about the people, the professional people, the knowledgeable people that we put in certain departments to fight crime. And this is where Jamaica is falling, because we do not have the relevant persons at some places in the organization, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, at any given time. Now, the police department is not only the only department that fights crime or assisting or aids in the reduction and suppression of crime. We also have to rely on the Director of Public and the Director of and the DPP's office for convictions and keeping criminals behind bars. Now, one would have said that Jamaica has been failing judiciary for the longest while, and court cases are taking too long to solve, to complete, and while witnesses are being killed and the cases are being thrown out of court and people are getting away scot-free after committing heinous crimes. We all know how that goes in Jamaica recently with the whole Vibes Cartel case. One would have said that, because I am still taken aback as a result of the decision with that case. Now, let us not discuss that, because that is just an example at the moment. But when I say in the fight against crime, it's not just the police. It comes down to the Director of Public Prosecution also, and then it comes down to the people and executing their civic duties. We have to be in one accord, that people have to get more involved in fighting crime in their own countries, not just the police alone. We cannot just sit back on our sofas and watch news every night and see heinous crimes, and we do not, as citizens of Jamaica, we are not trying to take part in the fight against crime. So people, I am saying this to say now, I am not like some bloggers who talk about informers. Police officers do not use that word in their mouth. As a police officer, I would never use the word informer in my mouth. I've used the word informants, because that's what police officers in Jamaica and other countries in the world depends on to solve most criminal activities, or to put most criminals behind bars. We depend on informants. We are not, some countries like America, even America, who depends mostly on scientific evidence and surveillance and such things like that, they still use eyewitnesses. But for Jamaica, we are talking about Jamaica, and Jamaica use mostly eyewitnesses to solve their crimes. So if nobody does see nothing, then that will go unsolved 80% of the time. So we depend on that too. And then the citizens of Jamaica have to get involved. You can't think of yourself as informer, and that jargon that has been spreading for years, that informer for dead. We have to reach a point in our lives where we say, to hell with that. I am going to help my country to fight crime and suppress crime by giving all the information that I have to give to the relevant bodies. I will understand that some people in Jamaica do not trust the police. And most of the time when people do not trust the police, it's not of a personal experience, but it's of other people's story. But you are to remember that not all police officers are bad. And like I have always said to you, that 80% of the Jamaica Constabulary Force officers are good, hard working, honest police officers. It's just a few that dabbles in crime and corruption, and there are a few that you cannot trust with certain information. We all know that. The citizens of Jamaica, you as a citizen in Jamaica, you have to investigate. And you have to find a police officer that you can trust. Even now that I have this platform, you can give me information. And I pass it on. And even when I'm going to pass it on, I'm not going to just pass it on to any police officer. I'm going to pass it on to a police officer that I can trust. Because even I, as a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, know police officers who can't give information to. Because once you give that to them, it's out on the street. Are they going to sell the information? Some police officers are that. What you need to understand, not all police officers are for the cause. Not all police officers are for the cause. Now, let's go back to the discussion on hand. I was talking about clamping down on crime, and Jamaica has reached a point now where we can change the narrative and we can switch it to a police state more than Jamaica to more like a police state. Some people are saying that police state is too harsh of a word to use. But then let's say a law-abiding society then. Let's change Jamaica to a no-nonsense law-abiding society, a law-abiding country where criminals must fear the rule of law. Because in Jamaica now, criminals don't fear the rule of law. They walk around and murder and shoot and maim anybody they feel like, because they can afford attorneys and they know that they have Jamaica for Justice as a support system to back them in their wrongs. And they know that the police hands are tied. And that is the reason why we are losing the control on crime. We have been losing the control on crime for so long in Jamaica. Now, one of the mistakes that Jamaica has made, as according to me, in my opinion, is to get rid of Paula Llewellyn. I don't care about her age or anything like that, but I'm saying that why get rid of people because of age when they are still capable of doing a good job? Paula Llewellyn was like a rock in the director of public prosecution, and now we have seen where Fitz Bailey might be going home soon. So let us look at that. Why are we do we have the capacity to lose such an experienced and knowledgeable senior officer at this time, who has done such a tremendous job in assisting Jamaica in solving and reducing crime? A man like Fitz Bailey. Now the government, Mr. Prime Minister, you have to look at these things, and we have to choose relevance over certain rules and regulations, because we can always change that. Because once it is for the betterment of the country, why not? Why not extend these people's services? Because they are still fit to carry out their duties. Why not? Because it is so hard in Jamaica to find senior officers who can be trusted, to find senior officers who have experience and know how to execute their duties in the right and proper way. And as far as I'm concerned, Fitz Bailey is one of those persons. He's one of the dragons in the Jamaica Constabulary Force that are breathing down the necks of criminals. And Paula Llewellyn, on the other hand, on the judiciary, was that dragon who made sure that once police officers' cases are presented before the court properly, if you notice I said properly, because not all police officers present their case properly. Some police officers make a whole lot of mistake and carry messy cases before the court. Incomplete files. And that's why the Jamaica Constabulary Force over the years has put things in place to solve that issue in terms of case management officers, to ensure that every case that goes before the court is ready for the court. I hope that is working. And then it comes back down to knowledge again, because the person vetting all of these files to go to court has to be knowledgeable of his profession. A person who knows which file can go before the court and harness a conviction. Because Why waste our time sending cases before the court where you're not going to get convictions from? No, I do not believe in giving nobody no run for their money. Once you charge somebody, you charge him on the basis that he will be convicted beyond a shadow of a doubt. If you do not have the evidence to suffice, then do not charge the person. And until police officers are being sued for wrongful arrest left, right and center, then this will not change. We cannot charge people who are without evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt. But give nobody no run for no money thing. This is not olden days that you have to have evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt to send any matter before the court. Now, I would say to the Commissioner of Police, Commissioner, I know you're a people person and you're a police person. And for some time now, I have concluded that you're one of the best commissioners who have sit in that chair so far. But now what you need to do, Commissioner, now, you need to talk to your superiors. Because Fitz Bailey cannot go home yet. He is needed. His services are not yet, his service to the Jamaican people should not be cut short. I would call it cut short because the Jamaican people, the police department still needs Fitz Bailey's experience and knowledge. And I do not see another person who can sit or even walk in the shoes of Fitz Bailey at this point in time. He's already been trusted by the Jamaican people and trusted by many police officers, including myself. So why not let him continue? We cannot afford to lose Fitz Bailey at this time. We have lost Paula Llewellyn. Hopefully that some redress can be done about that in the Director of Public Prosecution's office. I don't know what will happen on that end. But when it comes to the Jamaica Constabulary, Mr. Commissioner, try as hard as possible to keep Fitz Bailey on. If it's up to him to continue his tenure for a couple more years. And then at the same time, I hope that he is training his replacement in doing so. He has to train his replacement in doing so. He has to pass on the baton to somebody that he deems is fit and capable and knowledgeable to continue the work that he has started, because we cannot afford to lose the expertise and knowledge of Fitz Bailey at this time. Now that Jamaica is taking on the fight to gangs and criminals nationwide. The Prime Minister has elected to be on board. Hope that this is not just talk for votes and popularity, but I hope he sees this through, and not just the Cherry Gardens incident, but anything that comes after the Cherry Tree incident. That you, the Prime Minister, will continue to support the police, and at the same time avoid the Jamaica for Justice at all costs, because they seem to be taking everything out of the Prime Minister's mouth and turning it into violence or turning it into negativity at this time. That is what they want, because the Jamaica for Justice is always bent or set on destroying the Jamaicans' economy by pushing criminals to the forefront and destroying the Jamaica Constabulary Force, destroying the trust of the Jamaican people in the small amount of the small police department that we have left. Because everybody knows by now that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is decreasingly becoming null and void. That people do not trust the police anymore, and people do not see the police as their go-to person. People do not see the police as the solution to Jamaica's crime problem, because people see the police as being corrupted and unfair. And that is what, as a Commissioner of Police, that we need as police officers who are serving now. That is what we need to do now. We need to convince the Jamaican people that the police department is active and the police department can be trusted again. So we have to rebuild that trust with the people of Jamaica at all costs and all means necessary. We have to put the correct people in place to ensure that our duties are carried out with respect for the public, but not being soft at the same time. Because some people think that Community policing, or policing by getting the people involved and communicating with the people on a better level, means soft policing. No. First of all, I do not support criminals or anybody who supports criminals. Therefore, if you are a criminal, we are not friends. I am not going to hug and laugh with you. No. You are supposed to be in prison or otherwise laid out somewhere. Understand? The Jamaica Justice does not believe that. All they believe that criminals should be on the street, roaming and destroying the Jamaican society and destroying the people of Jamaica. And it just turn around that like the police is the enemy. I've never seen a country on the face of the earth that has so many departments that investigate police before, like the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We have so many bodies. Most countries just have an IA, just have an internal affairs department who investigates police shootings and police. Jamaica has the most entities that investigate their police officers, and yet still the police officers are still not trusted. Commissioner, I'm asking you, sir, that you need to look into Fitz Bailey's career, and if we really can afford to lose Fitz Bailey at this time, we have, well, I can conclude that we have lost Paula Llewellyn. I don't know if something can be worked out where Paula Llewellyn gets back in the driver's seat, because she was more, I consider her a more trusted director of public prosecution more than anybody else. I've worked with the woman, and she has nothing but a wealth of knowledge to offer to the Jamaican people, to offer to the Director of Public Prosecution. And so, Fitz Bailey is the same. The Commissioner of Police, you have a decision to make. And the only way that Fitz Bailey goes home is if he's offered and he has refused to continue his tenure. Then we'll have to let him go and find somebody else and hope and pray that that person can walk in the shoes of Fitz Bailey. Because Fitz Bailey is doing an extraordinary job as we speak right about now. You have other police officers out there working locally, and it is time, Commissioner of Police, that you identify all your hard-working, loyal police officers in every division. This is what you need to do, Commissioner. You need to identify the hard-working police officers in every division, and you need to know them personally. And you need to find ways to keep them working. You need to find ways to keep them doing what they have been doing for years, even if they are losing hope. If I want one promotion, because you have good police officers out there who are not being promoted because of corruption, and because they are not criminals, and because they are not a part of any clique. Because the force is run by cliques, and it has been going on for years. I don't know, Commissioner, if you can get rid of these cliques out of the force. But these cliques in the force, they are no good for the Jamaica Constabulary Force. They enslave good, hard-working police officers while lionizing criminal police officers. That is what these cliques do in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. They run the force. They make all the money in the force. They sell all the cases in the force. They control promotion. And they control who gets transferred from here to there. They control who gets charged, who is sent to prison, who loses the job. I am telling you that, Commissioner. That is how strong these people are. They're even stronger than you. And I have always told you that you have to look around your cabinet and find out who is real and true, and who means you well, and who means the Jamaican people well, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force well. That is what you need to do, Commissioner of Police. The Prime Minister, you have to walk hand in hand with the Commissioner of Police. And you have to also, Commissioner, you Police, Prime Minister, you have to work with the Commissioner in identify the good police officers, the officers that you have left in Jamaica. You have to find them, lionize them, put them on a pedestal, and so that they can continue the good work. Because most of the good police officers want to leave the organization because they're under promoted and they're under respected. They get no respect, they get no promotion because they are not criminals and they are not part of any clique. And until the Jamaica Constabulary Force get rid of the cliques that are in the Jamaica Constabulary Force who are doing criminal activities, then we will never have a drop on crime, no matter the material and no matter the support that the Prime Minister give to us.